I tested 3 online side hustles in Kenya for 7 days, and in this video I'll be sharing what happened. This week I gave myself 7 days to test 3 different online side hustles that anyone in Kenya can try, and I documented everything. So in this video I'll show you the messages that I sent, the content that I posted, and the templates that you can literally copy, and of course to start your own online income today. So there were 3 side hustles that I bet you already know, because these are the things that I always talk about in this channel. So the ones that I tried were freelance writing, affiliate marketing with Olymp. So I revealed that in my previous video. If you haven't watched it, make sure you do. I'll leave a link in the description. And the third one that I've never really tried was selling an AI generated ebook. And remember, I had no big budget, because remember, I just came back to YouTube, so I don't really have that much of a budget to spend anyway. And all I had were bundles, and of course spending late nights. So what mostly that something that I love doing is, of course, spending more time on all of these online sites. As well, remember, my social life is, almost really non-existent. Every weekend, you'll always find me indoors. So with my internet, really, I am using Natumia Safaricom, so that's around 3k a month, and so I don't really spend anything on bundles. So this might be the difference between me and you might be spending on bundles. So of course you will need that budget of it, of course, if you're going to tackle any of these ideas. And I think something else that made the difference were the late nights. Remember, for this to work, you need to really kind of dedicate yourself, because remember, easy see rich get rich quick schemes, which means you need to really put in the work. And that's something that's makes the huge difference between someone who's making money online and then someone who's just dreaming about it. So if you take one thing from this video, is whatever the idea that you pick or you've heard about making money online, make sure you're putting in the work. And remember, it's not really about the work, it's about doing the right thing, being smart about it, because it doesn't really matter at the end of the day if you put in effort and you're doing the wrong thing, because make sure what you're doing is when you get an idea, have a plan and then execute that plan. And from the feedback that you get, if you're seeing yourself you're not hitting the goals, or you're not even nowhere near the goals that you had, it means you have the wrong plan or you're doing the wrong thing. So from the feedback, you can now go back to the drawing board and have a different plan, have a different attack plan, and then do it. So you get the idea. So it's not really about doing the work, just do the right work. So getting right to it, the first idea was, of course, finding direct clients via social media, which was Google in this case. So remember, I've talked about this previously, that I don't do platforms. So for all my online for all my content or article writing clients, I only do direct clients. I don't do platforms. So you won't find me on Upwork, you won't find me on Facebook groups, you won't find me on Fiverr or all of these other crazy platforms. Because remember, in my previous video I talked about the dilemma where for a platform like Upwork, you need reviews to get clients, but you need clients to get reviews. So if you are new, that don't really work, right? So what I've done is I found a system where I can be pitching my services directly to clients. So here is what I did. I searched for Kenyan businesses on Google and pitched my freelance writing services to them, and I'll show you exactly what I did. I'll even give you a template of the message or the email that I used. So what you need to do is, step one is, of course, to find potential clients on Google. So what you need to do is just go to Google and look for websites that has the domain name .co.ke. Remember, of course, there are those that are using .com, but of course I would suggest in this case look for those that have the the domain extension .co.ke, and the best place you can find them is through Google, Kenyan Business Directory. So there is one, businesslist.co.ke. So you can go there, scroll through the profiles of businesses listed there, and then you can reach out. I'll show you something like that. Another idea is, of course, looking for websites that accept a guest. So we can do that right now. If you go to Google and search for submit a guest post Kenya, we might be lucky and we get a website that accept guest post. So here's an example. You can see we have Mount Kenya. I don't know what is this. Guest post service in Kenya. Publish a guest post. Guest blog for Safiri Kenya. You can see we have here Zuru Kenya. We have one here, alphapublisher.com. So submit a guest post in Dhika. So I think these are now a publisher in Dhika that accept guest posts. So you can do that. But what I normally do is, because mostly because I deal with businesses, I target businesses, what I always do is look for a specific business. So I can say real estate businesses in Kenya, right? So what I'm trying to do is look for websites that talk about real estate and then pitch my services. So I'll scroll through. Of course, I won't be pitching to companies like Buy Rent Kenya. Of course, if you have that big of balls, you can go after them and they might accept it to you. So list of 10 top 100. So we can look at this list, right? Or let me pick these guys, Bam Golding, Kenya. So that's a real estate company. Now, step 2, once you have a target site or a target company in mind, you need to look for a contact page or email, and then you make sure they have an active blog or they are actively writing. Make sure that these companies are offering services that can benefit from content. So, for example, it would be wrong for me to pitch my blog posts service to a company like Jumia, because I don't think they care about getting traffic from Google. But a business like this one, like a real estate company, would really use such a service. So once you're in a company page like this, make sure their blog section is working. So if okay, this one is going to South Africa. I don't know why that is, but anyway, if you scroll, you can see they have an active pages here. What I always do is, let's look at some of the pages that are indexed. So to look at pages that are indexed on a site, you use this operator, site full colon, then you paste the URL. So this gives you a list of sites that are listed on Google that are already ranking. And as you can see, they have up to 10 pages, but the issue is most of them are not really blog posts. They're just weird pages, right? So it means these guys might not be benefiting from Google. I would really go deeper into this, but this will make this video very long. But there's a way we can look at, okay, what's really driving traffic to this site, or we can actually see how much traffic they got last month, for example. Then from there we can build a pitch. So once you have a target site like this one, we need contact, right? And as you can see, we have an email here. So you need to copy that email and have a list. What we do is maybe pitch up to 10 businesses per day. So I'll have a spreadsheet of the emails and maybe the contact name and something like that, and then the date that I pitched them. Now what you need to do is to prioritize businesses with poorly written blogs. They are more likely to hire help. So what you need to do is go through them. As we can see, I don't think these guys have a blog section. So a blog section most of the time lies on the blog subfolder. So if we look for that, as you can see, really, I don't think these guys have any blog, really. Because if I open this one, it goes directly to South African site, .co.za, which is not what we are looking for, right? So this is a prime target for me to pitch my real estate writing service. The next thing is, of course, to shoot them an email. Remember, we've gotten an email, right? So if we hadn't gotten an email, I would be looking for the contact page, right? I'd be looking for the contact page, and then I can send my email there. Now, if you don't find an email, this is what you can do. Copy the email, go to this site, hunter.io /search. You need to create an account. It's free. So this site allows us to search, to paste in a domain name, and then it gives us, it searches through the site and checks if there's an email that exists. So if we search this one, you can see that it has 1 or 2 results for BAM Golding. .site A. Then we have here, we actually have director of residential rentals, commercial property consultant, commercial manager, property manager. You see, we even have ones for marketing. We have here one for web marketing services, so we can just click refill. Of course, I've finished my my free. You've reached your limit here, but so they give you around 25 searches per month, right? So if I had one, and then click hapa, itanirevealia the email, then now I can shoot them an email. In your email, this is what you can say. Subject line could be something like boost your blog with fresh, affordable Kenyan content. Of course, you can think of something that's way catchier than that, you know. Then the email body, you say hi, which is business name, but in this case, I would prefer to email someone's name. So in this case, I would be emailing maybe this email, digital marketing assistant, Emma. I would say, hi, Emma. I came across your website while researching Kenyan blogs, and I love what you're doing in the, of course, the niche now is the real estate, right? In the real estate space. I'm freelance content writer based in Nairobi, and I specialize in writing blog posts, product reviews, and web copy for Kenyan audiences. If you ever need help creating blog post content, improving your SEO, or writing customer-focused articles, I'd love to help. I charge affordable rates starting from Kenya shillings 1,000 per article, and I can deliver clean, engaging content fast. Here is a sample blog post I've written. Then you can now insert a Google document or PDF. But in this case, I would prefer that you insert a link to your published content. So make sure, I've previously talked about where you can build your portfolio on sites like medium.com. Right, so go and create a free account on Medium if you don't have any money to spend on your own site. Go and create an account on Medium and then start publishing content, say targeting that specific niche that you want to do. So if you want to hear more around this strategy, please let me know in the comments, because if I get into that, this video will be very long. Now, continuing with the email, let me know if you're interested, and I'll be happy to send more samples or write a short test article. Best regards, Gavin, freelance writer, Nairobi. Then your email, optional. Of course, you can add your phone number and then a portfolio link if you have any. So that's a sample of an email that you can send to land these services. Of course, again, if you want access to these sample emails and any other thing, make sure you let me know in the comments, and I'll include it. So in the email, make sure it's personal. Make it personal. Don't spam. Mention their business name and keep it short. So as I said, as I mentioned earlier, I sent 10 of these and I got only 2 replies. That's already better than Upwork for me, of course. So because remember, on Upwork, you're spending your connects on something that you might never really learn something. And remember, you're buying connects on Upwork. But here, where you're just spending money is really on your internet, and if you're lucky, maybe you have Wi-Fi, or if you're still at home, someone else is paying for that Wi-Fi. You get the point. So remember, not all of the emails that you will send will get a response. Most probably, most of these emails really want to work, right? And that's where the idea of sending more emails per day, for you to hit a target. Remember, you can't just send one and hopefully wish that, and pray to gods of email that you will get a reply. That's not how it works. Idea number 2 was affiliate marketing. Remember, in my previous video about how to make money online in Kenya and get paid directly to M-Pesa, I introduced to you that I am an affiliate of Olymp. So Olymp is a trading platform. This is it. Let me show you if you don't know what it is. So Olymp is a trading platform that allows you to make money by trading assets, right? So if you don't know what they are, just go to Google and search for what is Olymp and you will understand. So it's an online trading platform. You can trade from as low as $1, and you can make a deposit as low as $10 from that. Now, what I always do is I get paid whenever I refer people to them, those who are trading. So it's very much that simple. So in this week, I created content to promote it, and I'll show you exactly what I posted. So the first example of what I posted was on my WhatsApp status, right? And I also posted one on my Telegram, right? And this was a sample of an email. Do you want to learn how Kenyans are making $10 to $50 per day trading online? I've partnered with Olymp to give you free training plus bonuses when you sign up. So the link in my bio, and guess what the link is? It's my affiliate link. So I'll show you in a minute how to write and how to sign up on this site. So let me close these tabs right now. Yeah, there you go. So there's an example of a post that I posted on my WhatsApp status and my Telegram. Remember, I have a specific email. I have a specific phone number that I only share here online, right? So that I don't mix business with personal stuff. Now, example number 2 was the blog post. So here's an example of a blog post that I wrote on this: how to start trading on Olymp in Kenya, and then beginner's guide. The sections included what is Olymp, how it works, how to sign up, common mistakes to avoid, and then of course a very huge CTA with my affiliate link. So let me show you a sample of that blog post. Here's it. Introduction. I talk about what Olymp is and what you get, what you start, and then immediately we have a CTA here, and when you click on this, it's an affiliate link. Actually, as you can see, it reads Olymp, right? Then I answer the question, what is Olymp, how it works, how to sign up, and guess what? The step 1, when you click a link, that's my affiliate link, and when you sign up, of course, you're now being tracked as my referral, and whenever you deposit, I get something out of that. Remember, the earnings here is around 50 to 60%. So if you deposit $100, I get 60% of that. So 60% of $100 is how much? That's $60 per one person. Remember, then the common mistakes, how you should get ready to start, and then of course I give you another chance. There's another chance to add my affiliate link, the thoughts, and then another affiliate link, and of course a CTA. So this is just a template. This is just a draft of how I would structure such a document, such a blog post promoting Olymp, where I can insert my links to make money. Now, if you want to join this platform as an affiliate, I'll leave a link in the description where you can sign up. But so essentially, Olymp pays you 50 to 60% when you refer them, active traders. So when you refer someone to Olymp and they trade, you get something out of the amount that they deposit. So the affiliate program can be found on kingfin.com, right? As you can see, Olymp official affiliate program, and this is a partner who can profit. So you can join if you're a webmaster, if you're an influencer, or you're an introducing broker, something like that. Now, the benefits is daily payments. So the thing is, there are levels to this game, especially if you're an affiliate. The lowest is that you're getting around 50% of the deposit, right? and you can only withdraw once per week. But depending, if you refer more people, the more people you refer, the more traders you refer, you move up to even 60%, and you can request withdrawal twice per week. So it's really cool. Over 30 payment methods. So for me, I use Skrill. So I've connected my Skrill account to my Kingfin or my Olymp affiliate program. So whenever I make a commission, I just withdraw directly to my Skrill, and then from Skrill directly to my M-Pesa. And this thing is available in 40 countries, real-time statistics. Like if someone registers now and deposits, you can see immediately. And we have personal manager, so this is someone you can talk to directly. Now there are some 3 plans that you can take advantage of as an affiliate. One is revenue share, so you can share revenue with Olymp up to 60%, or CPA. So this is something like cost per acquisition. Now the beauty of this is that for this one is that whenever that, if you refer someone today, you get 60% of whatever they trade, right? So then that person comes back again, makes a deposit, you get again 60%. Comes back the that time, makes a deposit, you get 60%. So the next thing, the difference between this one is you receive a reward when trader you brought to the platforms makes their first deposit peke yake. So this is cost per acquisition, right? What this means is ukirifa mtu leo na uko under this plan ya CPA, you will be paid a specific value. So you refer someone akuja trade a deposit $10, na mulikuwa mmeagree na platform utakulipa $30 per referral. You see, watakulipa 30 yako, so, and that is it, that's the end of it. Huyo mtu akirudi kesha deposit $1,000, you won't make anything because you are under CPA. So the beauty of this is you can predict the revenue that you make. So if you've agreed with the platform that they'll be paying you $60 per referral, so ukirifer 10 referrals, that's $600, that's it. But the beauty of this also is that it's continuous. So as long as that guy keeps depositing on that platform, you keep earning your 60%, your 50%, of course. Now the downside is that you can be downgraded. So if you uingie alafu, you kind of once kuwa lazy, you're not kind of pushing, you're not getting more signups, you're not getting more traffic to the site, wanaku downgrade to a different level, and from that level now ndio unasikia you can only withdraw maybe once a week, kitu kama hiyo. And then of course there is special offer. So if you're this huge influencer, you can have specific special offer. Remember they said you have a personal manager. You can talk to them and be like, hey, I have a really engaged audience and I want this amount of money per referral. So go ahead, go to kingfin.com and sign up, or click the link in the description to sign up. So that's essentially how this affiliate program works. And do you make money? Absolutely. I withdraw every week because remember nilikuwa nimepotea online kidogo, so I had kind of tap it off, nilikuwa nimepotea kupromote hizi product, so nikarudishwa to a lower plan where you only withdraw once a week, right? So hata nipate leo imeingia $30, siwezi withdraw because nime withdraw juzi. You get the idea? So but now the moment nikianza, now that I'm back on creating more content, I'll start now maybe bumping up the traffic, getting more signups, and then they will upgrade me to next plan. Then I'll be withdrawing twice a week, something like that. You get the idea? So that's how it works. Now the third side hustle was of course selling an AI generated ebook. Remember, this is something I've never done before. I've written ebooks, yes, but I've never used AI to do that, and I think that's something that I will be exploring more as we continue with this I mean, as we move on, because that's something now we can't really ignore, the power of AI, right? So for this, I asked ChatGPT to help me create an ebook on 10 side hustles, 10 hustles Kenyan can start today. Then I designed a quick cover in Canva. So remember, Canva is a free tool that you can use to create graphics, right? Actually, you can write that ebook on Canva. So once you've written one on, I love using Google Docs, so you can use Google Docs to draft that, uandike that ebook, then you transfer that content to your to your Canva, uedit vizuri, utengeneze your cover, uandike hapo chini, upaste the content, then you export it as PDF, right? Then I sold the book on WhatsApp and Telegram for Kenya 50 shillings. 250 shillings. Now, I'll tell you in a minute how that worked. But for now, let me show you how you can get the same thing. So what we need to do is just go to chatgpt.com, right? I have prompts here. The first prompt, so there are 3 steps to this. The step 1 is to generate the ebook title. Step 2 is to generate the outline from the title, and then step 3 is to generate content for each chapter, right? You need to do those 3 steps. First, generate the title. Second, generate ebook outline from any title you pick, and then finally generate content for each of the chapters. So let's do that. So here's a prompt that you can give ChatGPT, of course depending on your niche. So here, as you can see, the prompt says, give me 10 catchy, beginner-friendly ebook titles about online side hustles that Kenyans can start with little or no capital in 2025. So let's do that. So it will give you titles, as you can see, this one, 0 to side hustle, smart side hustle for broke Kenyans, then Mpesa side hustle, Chikaze online, clicks to cash. Now, the next thing is, once you've gotten, so here's an example output. Then side hustles Kenyan can start today with 0 capital. So you pick one, right? Like that. The next is to generate an ebook outline. So the next prompt. Create. So let's paste it here. Then you paste your title there. Then you paste it. So the prompt is, create a 10 chapter ebook outline for the title. Then you paste the title. Each chapter should cover a different hustle, explain how it works in Kenya and how to get started and what tools the platforms work. So then you have your ebook chapters. You see chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, chapter 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's still going, right? Moving on, the next thing is, once you have the chapters, this is an example of an output. The next thing is generate content for each chapter. I also have a prompt for that. Then the prompt says, write the full content for chapter 3 of this ebook, affiliate marketing. The reader is a Kenyan beginner with only a phone and M-Pesa. Explain what affiliate marketing is, how to join programs like Jumia Call or Olymp, how to promote links using WhatsApp or TikTok, and how much one can earn. Keep the tone simple, friendly, and motivational. So that's just a simple sample example of a prompt that you can use to generate each chapter. Now what you can do is just change this to chapter 1 of this ebook, then you paste the title of the chapter, something like that. So let's do that. I'm going to give you an example. Let's copy that, copy to the prompt. Now we want to start with chapter 1, the introduction really. So we go to write a full content for introduction of this ebook. For introduction, the rise of, like that, right? Then you wait for this guy to introduction. Kama uko na smartphone, basi uko na potential ya kuanza kutengeneza pesa online, gone are the days when start. So you see, of course, what's affiliate marketing, all of that and all that, right? The next step is to write chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, then you'll be copying that into a Google document. Then you're building your ebook like that. Those are the ideas. So those are the 3 side hustles that I did. I've shown you everything. So if you want, of course, these prompts, right, if you want access to these prompts and more, let me know in the comments, and then I'll give you access to this document that you're seeing me using in this video. Now, the lessons learned in these 7 days of side hustling. Lesson number 1: direct clients pay more, but here's the issue: you must stand out. Now, I got the most responses from pitching directly to Kenyan businesses through Google, not Upwork or any job boards, as I mentioned. But here's the catch: these clients don't just want cheap writing; they want quality, local relevance, and professionalism. That's why I always insist you need to don't use your Gmail. Make sure you have a professional email. That's why I don't forgive you if you don't have your own personal site, like for me, maybe like something like kevinblogger.co.ke, a portfolio site, right? So if you're a serious writer, you need your own site. Now, the takeaways was you need to write personalized emails. So don't just like dear sir or madam. What are you kidding me? The next thing is use real samples, even if self-written. So I've talked about this. I think I talk about this in detail in a course that I have, free course. You can go to courses.co.ke to access it. I talk about how you can access how you can create samples if you're a beginner and you haven't done work before, right? So I talk about that. I'll leave a link in the description or through that course. It's free. Just go register and you can do that. Mention their business niche, not a generic dear sir or madam. I talked to you about that. Lesson number 2: affiliate marketing works, but you need content that educates. So I promoted Olymp thread with just WhatsApp link and TikTok video. I got clicks but no conversions. Why? Because I wasn't educating. I was just promoting. So I always use this example of a hawker where they come and then they push products in your face. How many times do you buy that? Most of the time you just close the window. Why? Because they are promoting, they're not educating. Of course, they don't expect the hawkers to educate, but you get the point. If you want to convert those clicks, or if you want to drive clicks that will convert, you need to educate, right? That's why in most of my videos, in most of my blogs that I write to make money through Olymp thread, I always educate in that article. So for example, I can write an article about top 10 ways to make money with your phone, right? And number 1, I use Olymp thread. Then I show you exactly how you can use Olymp thread to make money with just your phone. Download the app, sign up, something like that. So at the end of it all, someone won't feel like I was promoting Olymp thread, which I was, but they won't feel like that because I've taught them something, right? So the takeaways is don't just drop your affiliate link. You need to create tutorials, reviews, and blog guides. So I've written reviews, Olymp thread review, Olymp thread versus pocket option, Olymp thread versus Q options. I think there's something like that. Olymp thread versus Cortex, something like that, right? So here's an example. How I started trading with $10 on Olymp thread as a beginner in Kenya. So you can write such an article and insert your links there. And remember, you will be sharing your journey, the entire journey in that article. So someone won't feel like you're trying to push them towards the platform really. And make sure you're just sharing your honest review. Remember, people buy when they trust you, not when you beg them. Lesson number 3: ebooks don't sell themselves, but they position you as an authority. So when I created this AI generated ebook and promoted it on WhatsApp, I got interest but no sales. So I didn't sell, even though it was cheap, to 50 shillings. But I think here is the reason why I didn't sell. Even though I didn't make any money, it gave me a serious content ideas and of course credibility. So you can add that it gave me those bragging rights. So I'm an author. Of course, we both know that was just generated by ChatGPT. The takeaway is use the ebook as a free lead magnet to collect WhatsApp contacts or emails. Number 2, drop chapters into TikTok Reels, blog posts, and carousels. And of course, you can sell later. So sell later, first give value. So what I've done is, instead of now selling this ebook, I've just turned it into something free. So you join my WhatsApp channel, you get it for free, something like that. So I get your contact, I get to build the audience, then I can sell to later. They get the free ebook. You get the idea. So remember, you don't need fancy tools to start. You need consistency, boldness, and a plan. So these 7 days didn't make me rich, of course, but they gave me momentum, and that's more value than, making 20,000 shillings. So I didn't really hit the target of making 20,000 shillings, but I started the journey. So if you want to see me go, all in on Olymp affiliate marketing for 30 days, you can let me know in the comments. Then I can be sharing. I can do like 30 days challenge of making money on Olymp as an Olymp affiliate. Then I'll document everything, whether I hit the target or not. You'll get to see how it can be done, learn from the mistakes, and what are some of the strategies that I will be employing. So if you've loved this content this far, please make sure you give me that thumbs up, click that notification bell, and make sure do subscribe. Until next time, bye bye for now.